Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Jack Canfield. And let's get right into today's message. The only impossible journey is the one which you never start. You have to take that first step, and then you have to keep taking steps, even if they are really small. In fact, it is super helpful to surrender to the idea that they will all be baby steps. Linda, very good morning. Tracy, good morning. Sunmuddy, good morning. Hello, beautiful people. Charlene, good morning. Awesome seeing you all here. Hello. Have you thought of it in those terms? Is there a journey that is impossible to finish if you just keep taking the next step? I love this thought. The only impossible journey is the one which you never start. The truth is, though, that all journeys are constantly changing. Some days you'll be flying down the highway with the wind in your hair and your foot firmly planted on the accelerator. And other days you'll have to pull over to the side of the road and stop just so that you can breathe, just rest for a while. Some roads are straight and clear for miles, but some parts of the journey are so misty and unclear that you can only see a foot ahead of you, and that's okay. Just take that one step, and then the next tiny step, and then the next one. Beatrix, a very good morning. Hello. Danae, good morning. Hello, beautiful people. Learn to love yourself. Learn to catch yourself. Learn to hold the scared parts of you until they feel safe. But then remember, and this will never change, the way you grow and build the life you deserve will only come from stepping up and stepping out of your comfort zone. Anne-Marie, good morning. Hello. Be willing to fail. You have learned that you can catch yourself. You have learned that you can fail and still love yourself. You have learned that you can fail and still trust yourself. You are, in fact, safe to fail, because you can trust that you'll always get back on the road and take the next step again. Jack Canfield says, don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. Don't worry about falling. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. Jack Canfield says, one way to kill an opportunity is to avoid taking it. Next thought from Jack Canfield is, if we are not a little bit uncomfortable every day, we're not growing. All of the good stuff is outside of our comfort zone. Persistence is probably the single most common quality of high achievers, says Jack Canfield. They simply refuse to give up. The longer you hang in there, the greater the chances that something will happen in your favor. No matter how hard it seems, the longer you persist, the more likely your success. You, and you alone, are responsible for taking actions to create the life of your dreams. No one else can or will do it for you. Today's journey explores the science of what happens in our bodies while we meditate, with today particular attention given to the brain science of stepping out of our comfort zones. What happens in our brain when we step out of our comfort zones? Why does that equate to growth? So if you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together. Anami, a very good morning. It's great seeing you. Here we go. Deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation to slip into your inner world and spend a bit of time with you. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Focus specifically on your exhale. When you inhale, fill your belly full of air. And when you exhale, make that breath outwards as long and slow as possible. Feel your body soften over a long, slow exhale. Evolution has taught us that a slow exhale means everything is okay. That the slow exhale means the danger has passed. We can step out of fight or flight. Think for a moment of when you played hide and seek with friends or siblings or cousins when you were little. Can you remember running around a corner and waiting and realizing your breathing is so loud they'll find you just by the way you're breathing? How hard it was to slow down your breathing? after you've been running and hiding. Stress and danger always goes hand in hand with faster and more shallow breathing. Whenever we can get our breathing to slow down, we signal to our body that the danger has passed. Your heart and your brain is listening to your lungs, and as your breathing slows down, your heart rate slows down, and your brain waves slow down too. Let your breath be the leader. Your body will always follow. And when you own your breath, then nothing can disturb your peace. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. Feel yourself stretching into your back muscles. Feel where the edges are and gently lean into those edges. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as present as you can find yourself becoming right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, make it the longest, slowest exhale you can. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, our journey is the science of meditation. The things that happen in your body while you take this big breath. Do you have any curiosity there? Is a part of you curious about all the interesting things in your body? Take your next big breath. When you hold your breath, your nervous system detects a possible threat. Your nervous system asks the question, why is there a disruption in breathing? What's busy happening here? And your brain gets an increased dose of oxygen. So the first thing that happens when you hold your breath is your brain receives more oxygen. Just in case there's something wrong here, you might have to think your way out of it. As you take your next big breath and as you dive deep into you, imagine you could see this extra dose of oxygen to your brain. Imagine you could see your brain light up. Take your next big breath. When you hold your breath, your nervous system goes on alert. It asks the question, should I be worried? Your nervous system doesn't necessarily go into fight or flight immediately, but there is a trigger, and it's paying attention to what needs to happen next. Now you have the opportunity to teach your nervous system what happens next. You're telling your body, when there is a trigger, I want you to find softness. I want you to find calm. Have that conversation when you take this big breath. Be reminded that your nervous system wants to know what to do because it senses a possible threat. So as you take your next big breath and as you dive deep into you, find softness in your breath hold and let your body know when there's a trigger, this is the kind of calm I want us to experience. Take your next big breath. I want you to do that again. If your body is able to find softness and relaxation in a breath hold, then your body is learning that it can in fact relax. Be soft even when there's a trigger. Take your next big breath. by showing up here for breath holds every day. You have been teaching your body that not everything that seems like a threat is in fact real danger. When you are able to relax into the breath hold and find a sense of peace, then your body can learn to soften in the face of other triggers too. Let's do that again. As you take your next big breath, and as you dive deep into you, have that conversation with your body. Let your body know that not everything that feels like a threat is necessarily danger. We can find calm first. We can find softness first before we need to figure out how to act. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it the longest, slowest exhale that you can. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in, how softness settles in every part of our body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Our last conversation is about brain plasticity, neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to become very pliable, able to be molded almost into new connections. It was always thought that only small kids, young kids, have a lot of brain plasticity because their brains are making new connections at a rate that we never experience again in our lives. But it has been found that adults have a lot more neuroplasticity than what was thought before. Our brains still have an incredible ability to make new connections. And one of these areas seems to be triggered the most when we experience a high level of frustration. When's the last time that you can remember yourself experiencing a high level of frustration? When we experience high levels of frustration, our brain releases a chemical, or our body releases a chemical for our brain called acetylcholine. When our brain gets flooded with acetylcholine, it tends to be in situations where the frustration's high and we probably experience a sense of anger or aggression too. In those circumstances, our brain becomes more malleable than ever. During high frustration, anger, aggression, our brain makes more neural pathways, new neural pathways, than at any other time. And this makes sense from an evolutionary point of view. If you have to face danger or face difficulty, face frustration, from an evolutionary point of view, if you survive that danger, if you survive that difficulty, it would be important for your brain to remember how you did it. It would be important to capture the information so that your brain can use it for future survival. So when we step out of our comfort zones, our brain is ready for growth. Our brain is ready to make new connections every time we step out of a comfort zone. But it is a double-edged sword. The one edge of the sword speaks about growth. When we're under pressure, our brain is primed for growth. But the other side, the other edge of the sword, is something we do have to pay attention to. How do we often act? How do we often react when we are under pressure? When we feel a high level of frustration, when the anger and the aggression is high? What do our actions most often reflect when we're in those circumstances? It's quite normal for our actions to be very reactive, to be aggressive, to lash out, to throw tantrums. The issue with that is when our behavior is a tantrum, when we're under pressure, when we're experiencing frustration, then our brain plasticity will record those actions, those reactions and behavior. And we create a feedback loop that over our lives, we become more reactive every time we are frustrated because we are acting on the information from before. Here's the really good part though. We can turn that around. And you've been doing that by sitting in these sessions again and again and helping your body find a sense of softness, even in the presence of a possible trigger. You've been starting to turn that around. And I wouldn't be surprised if, under times of pressure and high frustration, your actions have become calmer. Your actions have become more measured. You've been teaching yourself to take a moment before you act. Take a few big breaths while you're under frustrating circumstances, while your brain is ready to capture what happens now. You've been teaching yourself to take a few breaths. Don't act yet. Wait a minute. Perhaps even walk away for now and come back and address this again later. So now, as you step out of your comfort zone, your brain is ready for growth, but also it's built a new program for dealing with this. Every time you experience pressure, stress, frustration, remind yourself that this is really an opportunity. This is an opportunity to rewrite the program, to reinforce the new program that can accept growth together with a sense of calm. This is becoming your superpower. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the work that you've been doing. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the old program that you have been recognizing and teaching yourself not to give too much energy to the old program. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the new program that you have been writing and reinforcing, being determined again and again that when your body experiences high frustration, you will teach it. While your brain is ready to make new connections, you will teach your body how to breathe, how to take small steps, how to act from wisdom. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that you can catch yourself, you can love yourself, even when it feels as though you can't, and that you can trust yourself to always find your way back to the best version of you. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. You will be reminded the next time you experience high levels of frustration that right now, when I'm feeling so frustrated, my brain is ready to learn. And I need to be deliberate about what I want my brain to learn right now. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Beatrix. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Charlene. Have a beautiful day. Don't you just have an amazing brain and an amazing body? Thank you for indulging my curiosities. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.